Los Angeles, a city that has always been synonymous with celebrity shine and untold secrets, is again witness to an unexpected moment that shook the world of international entertainment. But this time it's not about movies or Hollywood stars. One big question resonates among the millions of hearts of BTS fans around the world. Why did Jungkook cry hysterically after Taehyung's shocking confession in LA? What exactly is going on behind their secret meeting, and what does all this mean for the future of BTS? The panic began to be felt since fans caught the unusual movement of Kim Taehyung, or better known as BTS's V. In a suspicious silence, Taehyung is seen at Incheon Airport wearing black clothes, his face covered in a mask and an earphone. He made no statements, did not address the media, and appeared to reject any form of interaction. Only one thing makes speculation grow wild. The goal is Los Angeles. Los Angeles is not a foreign city for BTS, especially for Jungkook, who has settled there for a certain time in the framework of solo projects and a separate work schedule. However, Taehyung's sudden presence in the same city without official notice from the agency invites question marks. Many began to associate his departure with internal issues that were previously only whispers among fans. Taehyung's arrival was only revealed hours after a fan shared a brief footage of him at LAX airport, seemingly rushing towards a black vehicle that had been waiting for him. He immediately disappeared from the radar until he finally reappeared through an unexpected live broadcast. The live broadcast that Taehyung and Jungkook made from a luxury car that drove in the city of LA became a moment that sparked an explosion of emotion in cyberspace. Weverse, the interaction platform between BTS and ARMY, was suddenly paralyzed as millions of fans flocked in to watch the two BTS members sit side by side, their faces full of unusual meaning. At first, the life seemed ordinary. They laugh, throw each other little jokes, play songs they like. However, for fans who have followed their journey for years, the facial expressions of both imply an emotional tension that is difficult to explain. Jungkook looked a little agitated, occasionally looking down, and his eyes looked teary. While Taehyung looked calmer, his words seemed to have been prepared very carefully. By the 23rd minute of the broadcast, a sentence rolled off Taehyung's lips that made the audience's heartbeat stop. "I didn't come to LA just to meet Jungkook. I came to say it straight, something I had to say on my own, without intermediaries, without cameras, without managers." Jungkook immediately looked at her, and right then, his hands started shaking. The camera had time to shake lightly, as if the hand holding it had lost strength. Taehyung continued, "What I've been holding on to, I finally have to take out. Because I feel like if I don't say it now, I'll regret it for the rest of my life." That's when Jungkook's face started to change. He's not smiling anymore. His breath was hunting. Her tears began to flow, and she tried to cover them with her hands, but in vain. The fans watched the moment when the Golden Magne cried hysterically live and censored, without diversion. As soon as the broadcast ended abruptly, speculation exploded like a fire that grabbed dry straw. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, to Korean and international forums are full of theories. Did Taehyung express his desire to quit BTS? Is it related to military pressure, personal conflict, or perhaps a major project that has been hidden from the public? Hybe, BTS's agency, only gave a brief and diplomatic statement. The meeting between BTS members is a private matter, and we cannot comment further on their interactions. This statement does not dampen the rumors, but makes them even more burning. The source close to the Korean music industry, who did not wish to be named, stated that Taehyung's decision to fly to LA is very personal and is not directly related to the group's official promotions or activities. It adds that there have been emotional discussions that have been long overdue between the two, and that their relationship is in a very sensitive period of transition. International media also began to look at this incident with more serious attention. The Guardian called it the most emotional public moment from BTS in years, while Rolling Stone questioned whether this was an early sign of a major shift in the internal structure of the group. However, there are also voices that warn not to rush to draw conclusions. "We're looking at very complex human emotions, not television dramas," said a media psychologist from Seoul. "They are not just celebrities. They are human beings who have been under tremendous pressure for more than a decade." In the following days, Jungkook did not appear in public. He did not post anything, gave no sign that he would talk about the incident. Instead, Taehyung appeared briefly in a weverse post with a photo of himself looking up at the LA sky, with the short caption, "Sometimes, it just takes courage to be honest." The photo was instantly flooded with over 1 million comments in less than an hour. What exactly Taehyung said to Jungkook during the live broadcast is still a closely guarded mystery. However, Jungkook's reaction was definitely not something that could be engineered. Many believe that it was a cry from someone who heard the painful truth, or maybe regret for something that did not have time to be corrected. And the context of their relationship. Taehyung and Jungkook have long been the center of attention due to their incredible closeness. They are often referred to as soulmates, brotherhood goals, and even inseparable duo. But as with all deep and complex relationships, there are moments in which painful honesty becomes an inevitable part. As time went on, fans began to piece together fragments of past moments that now seem to have new meanings. Their old backstage videos, interactions in concerts, to song lyrics that now sound like hidden clues. Especially in Jungkook's solo song, "Hate You," many find lyrics that seem to describe the inner upheaval of someone who is very close but feels distant. Meanwhile, the rest of BTS's colleagues chose to remain silent. RM, Jeon, J-Hope, Jimin, and Suga have yet to comment or post any reference to the event. This collective silence only reinforces the impression that what is happening is not trivial. Los Angeles, in all its glitter and drama, again plays the role of the stage of a real human drama. Amid the dim lights of the night, two young Koreans sit in a luxury car, talking about something that might determine the direction of their lives. Not just about career, but about taste, friendship, and the courage to say something that has been buried in the heart. The fans are waiting. The world is waiting. And BTS, as a symbol of global power and true friendship, now stands at a very important inflection point. This event is not just about Jungkook's tears or Taehyung's confession, but about how a group built on human bonds faces change honestly and openly. Amid all the unanswered questions, one thing became clear. This was a defining moment. A new chapter is unfolding, and BTS must write it with the ink of honesty and courage. In their current silence, perhaps their future history is being written, and the world, as always, can only wait with bated breath. If this moment becomes the beginning of great changes, then this is the time when all eyes are on them. Will BTS stick together in the same form, or will they evolve into something different? Those questions hang in the air, waiting for answers from 7 hearts that have long been beating in unison and now, perhaps, are rearranging their rhythm. But after various speculations developed widely in the community and the global army, the facts that were slowly revealed showed that the emotional news that had shaken the virtual world was ultimately not entirely true. A number of media outlets, including trusted sources close to BTS and HYB labels, confirmed that there was no dramatic confession from Taehyung as widely reported. Jungkook's cry at the heart of the uproar was taken out of context, came from a different moment, and was not the result of an emotional conversation linked to the news of the confession or an internal conflict. The first clarification came from one of weverse production staff, who stated that the live broadcast was just part of a casual activity between 2 old friends who were in Los Angeles in their spare time. They just want to greet fans and share the atmosphere of the night in the city. The emotion seen in Jungkook's expression was not related to a heavy conversation or personal confession, but rather a response to the music they were listening to, which happened to be a memorable song from their trainee days. It is important to note that the live broadcast also never featured an explicit line or statement from Taehyung stating that he came to LA to confess something, or convey something important to Jungkook directly. The sentences circulating on social media and translated into various languages turned out to be the result of pieces of video that have been edited and given additional narration, thus misleading many people. The original video shows a much more relaxed atmosphere, Without excess emotional intensity as depicted in the article and public reaction, it is undeniable that ARMY's emotional attachment to BTS. Every move is indeed very large. This makes many fans quickly affected by the narrative that contains a high emotional charge, especially when associated with relationships between members that have been built for more than a decade. However, this is a challenge in today's digital age, when information can be easily twisted, cut, and disseminated without verification, even by seemingly well-intentioned parties. After this clarification, some fans who initially felt disappointed finally began to realize that they had been provoked by an interpretation that went too far. Comments of apology began to appear on social media, where ARMY expressed support and understanding for their two idols as they had to face pressure from unfounded rumors. Many also called for the importance of waiting for official clarification and not immediately trusting pieces of video or emotional captions that do not come from primary sources. This moment is also a reminder to the global ARMY community that maintaining the privacy and personal space of BTS members is part of a true form of love and support. Relationships between members that have been going on for more than 10 years do not always need to be explained or shown to the public, because what happens behind the scenes is their personal business that should be respected. In conclusion, this becomes an important lesson that in the midst of a wave of information coming from all directions, caution and verification are key. Taehyung and JUNGKOOK remain solid, BTS remains one, and their future is still wide open to be painted with new colors. And this time, let's make sure that the story that accompanies it is a true story, not one filled with illusions and baseless sensations.